Okay, hello. I just want to hop on here before I get out there again. Put some love out here for the people that love me. You know, you matter. Not the ones that don't have, but the ones that I do. And I want to get a word for you. What? Yes, I'm a rapper. Okay, I got bars. I just put the scarf on, so I have to head on the highway. Head on the highway. And yes, I like to sing. That is part of my gifting and channeling and such. And it's just a part of me. It's just another part of me. Yeah. Alright, I don't know. I can't really see. I have a little OCD. CD. Anyway, my nose is starting to itch. So anyway, I got a little incense cone going. I just made myself a little more copper spray. Okay. I add some a little this and some a little that. And I want to knock 3 times on the front and back of this shadow. Let's see what the shadow's going to tell us. We need to get some shadow information. You know, scry. It's called scrying. Is that true? The pathology of elation. Whoa. We are going. It's elation time. Okay? Now listen. But there are probably highs and lows. Because what goes up must come down, you know, and it's all about understanding and balance and getting ready for it, knowing, okay, things go up, it's going to come down, and what do I do in the meantime? Because you can make a profit as far as, let's say, the stock market is concerned, up or down, if you know how to do options, stock options, you know, so if you know and get a little more knowledge and learn a little more when you're in certain situations, then you can make better decisions for yourself, better outcome using the resources. So if you're limited resources, then you can add to them. Okay? Okay, so let me see. Joseph Ramirez, Hypomania, and the American Dream. Oh, yeah. Isn't that funny? That is good. Okay, so the page though that I opened to was 112. Okay, so 112. So January 12th, right? Um, Somebody could be born on the 12th or born on the 11th, born on the 1st, born on the 2nd. But I'm going to start here on page 110, which is 11, which is duality, mutuality. Okay? I'm going to start though here with this, even though I see 21 up here and 33, so that makes my eyes go there. And that's, let's see, patients in the bipolar 2 category have 33% rate of separation and divorce. Oh, wow. Compared to a 21% rate of bipolar ones, like the Roman numeral 1, and 17% for unipolar depressive, the hypersexuality of mania. In many ways, the mirror opposite of major depression, whoa, which deadens sexuality, contributes to the high rate of divorce among married bipolars. Interesting. How many of you have ever thought about this? Has anybody ever thought about this kind of stuff? No, wouldn't even know unless you did some research, or it happened upon you, or you had to go to therapy, or you are a physician, you know? I don't know, but this is fabulous. And this is an older book here. The Shadow Syndromes. Isn't that for sure? To say goodbye to your therapist. And yeah, so this was written by a therapist and doctor. Let's see here if I can see 1995, child. Copyright. And it's 2005, so that's 1995. So even 2000 would have been 25 years. So 95, add 5 more, and that's 30 years. Wow, this book is 30 years old. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this 30 years. I wonder if they wrote something else. But anyway, it's John J. Ratty, M.D., and Katherine Johnson, Ph.D. And I have I read from this before, and I have posted and have their information listed there. This is quite interesting. All right, so marital strain aside, manic, depressive illness in its shadow form can be so beneficial that even the authorities of Nazi Germany, in their quest to eradicate all mental defects from the race, decided to spare it. Goodwin and Jameson tell the story of a study commissioned by the Nazi administration to settle the issue. When the report found that manic depressive illness was far overrepresented in the higher occupational classes, the author of the report recommended against forced sterilization of manic depressive patients, particularly when the mentally ill individual did not have siblings who could pass on the positive aspects of the disorder. Socioeconomic data throughout Europe and the United States bear out this association between manic depression and higher social status. At the very least, we do not see the downward drift in a family's social status that we would expect to find when a major mental illness strikes successive generations. A finding that supports the argument that manic depressive illness is its shadow forms may confer certain advantages. Okay, so now here we get to, in case you want to stop and read that back, okay? All right. So now we're going to read Joseph Ramirez, Hypomania and the American Dream. Now, Joseph Ramirez that's not that guy that was going around doing crazy stuff, is it? Something else Ramirez. I don't know. Joe Ramirez rise from childhood refugee of Castro, Cuba, to physicist in Boston's medical mecca, dramatically illustrates the at times supreme survival value of the mildly manic personality. Sent alone to America from his home in Havana at the age of 11, no other member of his family having been granted a visa. He thrived in the New World. This was no certainty that his parents or siblings would ever be allowed to follow him to the United States. There was no guarantee that his father, who was a member of the Cuban underground movement, would remain a free man in his native land. Still a boy, Joe was alone in America. For many, if not most, the children of Cuba's middle and upper class, being sent to the new land with neither family nor friends to care for them, was traumatic. Oh my goodness, to say the least. What? But for Joe, buoyed by manic energy and confidence, it was an adventure. Okay. Oh, okay. After he reached the United States, Joe was sent to a refugee camp in Florida where he stayed for 2 months. It was an Air Force Base barracks where 20 people living in one room with 20 people living in one room. The beds were triple deckers, 3 beds on top of each other. It was like 20 people living in a one room apartment. We had to schedule bathroom times. From here, he was moved to an orphanage in Iowa where he lived in suspense for a year and a half, not knowing whether his family would be allowed to follow him. One day, the sister superior said, "We want all of you kids to write a letter to Jacqueline Kennedy saying you're here and alone and you need your parents." And there were 8 or 9 of us who were Cuban in the orphanage, and there was going to be one last a boat lift. After that, they were going to close the migration down, and all of our families came in the last boat. Itchy. None of this fazed the 11-year-old Joe. As a psychiatrist today, he attributes his resilience to hypomanic qualities he already possessed as a boy. I think the hypomanic qualities I have as an adult were already there, because to me the whole thing was an adventure. Most others were wrecked by it. The orphanage was right by the Missouri River, so you could read Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer, and it was all right there. It was all right there. Ooh. And in the orphanage, there were a few Indians who formed in. This is so cute. I know. I think my 10-year-old would be down for this. Alliance with the Cubans. All of us being minorities, so that the kind of interesting and so wait. My God. Okay, so I'm gonna go back a little bit here. There were a few Indians who formed an alliance with the Cubans, all of us being minorities. So that was kind of interesting. And you had to learn English, and that was a new language. So I was busy, and you had to keep your eyes open. Hypnomatics crave stimulation. For for Joe, the experience of being shipped to a brand new country at age 11 met his need for novelty and excitement, newness, novelty. Even the possibility that his family would be lost to him forever seems merely to have provided him with fresh opportunity for a new escapade. Oh my goodness. Janet Jackson escapade. Okay, I didn't necessarily assume my family was going to get to America, because during the missile crisis, all communication were broken off. So I and some of the other kids had escape plans from the orphanage. I figured I'd go with the Indians to the reservation. These qualities put me in a leadership position, so that I've always been a leader without seeking it. Interesting. I would say I'm going to do it this way. I don't care how you do it. I would feel very confident, and that attracts people. Confidence. That's what we heard. That's true too. It's like, huh? What do you got? What are you seeing? Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? You going to go get something? Where are you going? I'm going to go look at what you're getting. I don't know. Anyway. Already in Joe's young life, we can see the magnet pull hypomanic personalities. expert upon their fellows. The magnetic pull, hypomanic personalities exert upon their fellows. Oh my goodness. Suffered with energy and high spirits, Joe was the boy who sighed the young for lost, rallied. Oh God, let me see what time it is, because why am I itching so much? It's like making me think, am I late? 1:22. Oh yeah, I gotta go. Okay, that's why. All right, I gotta go.